Shout out to everybody else. Yeah. So anyway, I'm playing. Am I? Anyway, long story short, what's going on, everybody? I am back, and earlier when I was on today, I thought I owed it to you guys. I said, well, you know what, I really don't feel like going back live. But I saw two things. I saw two things. And one made me, one I was grateful for. Yeah, I was grateful for that. I was very grateful for that. I will say that. One thing I was very grateful for to see earlier today, and I should have seen it earlier, I think, was these Epstein files being released or whatever the case may be. Damn, this goddamn cord, bro. All right. I'm about to knock everything I got over fucking with this cord. So anyway, the Epstein files, they got released. I was talking about earlier today. I think they should be released, and I'm glad Congress made the decision to release those files and get it out the way. And I also heard something that was read, and I'm going to give you that in a minute too. But hold on, let me do this first, because we need to talk about them first. Then we'll talk about the glitz and the glamour and all that stuff or whatever afterwards. I want to talk about these two individuals on the screen right now. Ghislaine Maxwell, who was interviewed by the DOJ earlier last month, and many of y'all know this or whatever the case may be. If you don't know this, she was. I don't know what was regards to do, because later on, just a few minutes later, they decided to release. Some people are now pointing at the fact that they might have interviewed her just to see what she knew. You understand what I'm saying? And there's a possibility. I don't know. I don't know these things. But my point is, it was Tulsa giving her, at the time, I believe, it was Tulsa giving her some type of pardon or some type of, she was requesting, or was at least, at the very least, in the discussions. I know quite a few people were upset about that. They didn't understand it. I didn't understand it either. And I said, well, maybe it's this. Maybe they're just extracting information that they might not have previously or whatever the case may be. And that might very well be the point. And so I said to myself, okay, well, we'll sit back and wait. 2 weeks passed by. We really don't hear nothing. We just say there's a possibility. They're going to do this, going to talk about that or whatever. Here we are. And sometime later, we finally got them released. So what I need the duty of you to do, now, first of all, there's 30K pages of this. This is court transcripts, things that people wanted to know, some of the things, I guess, I'm assuming that, and I haven't got all the particulars, but I think some of the things presumable that the court had, the lawyers had, both on defense and prosecution, and just what they use is, I guess, their basic thesis on how to talk about and approach this subject, which is disgusting still to this day to me, but hey, we got to talk about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you the official statement of how this went down. Then we'll get into all the fluff and talk about all the fun stuff or whatever. But right now, I want to talk about this right here, because this is more important than that. You know what I'm saying? And that other part, we'll talk about it. Don't worry about it. Now, there's 30,000 files attached to this Epstein thing. And I'm just like, this is crazy. Now, we don't do that over here. You got the wrong place. So, this is how it reads. I want y'all to listen to this very good. This guy used to pimp girls on 2nd Street. I don't know what 2nd Street is. I know what 2nd Ave is. I don't know 2nd Street, and I ain't never pimped no girls on 2nd Street. Got the wrong guy. That's crazy. We're talking about somebody that actually got 30,000. It's just amazing how some people talk. I always find it just amusing. I'm sorry about that, guys. I just wanted to make sure I got rid of a couple people in here. Epstein files released. I don't want to read that one anymore because it's somewhat time has passed, and I don't like reading old file. I don't like reading old articles. Sometimes old articles can come in handy, but I like to read the most updated. Okay, so here we go. So, House releases first trove of Epstein files, and I want to make sure that y'all understand what's going on here. This is 30,000 files altogether. The first batch is rumored to release sometime this afternoon, and I want you to hear what they have so far. The GOP-controlled House has released the first tranche of documents in its investigation into convicted sex offender and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, a move intended to quash the mounting calls for answers around why the Justice Department allowed Epstein to continue to prey on his victims for decades. A trove of materials, however, is unlikely to satisfy those clamoring for more information about the case. This batch, subpoenaed by the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, contains almost exclusively information that has already been released publicly. Okay, so they're saying mostly all of it has been released to the public officially. Priors before, Democrats say based on their initial review of 33,000 files, only 3% of the documents contain new information. So, in case you're not, if you're wondering, they're saying this. I'm sorry, y'all, I got something in my eye. They're saying it's only 3% of 33,000 files. So that's roughly what, maybe 2,000, 4,000 that contain new details. Many of the files appear to be on a regular court filings, just like I was telling you guys, including, for example, a 2021 motion for Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell to dismiss the superseding indictment against her in federal court in New York. Among materials unveiled Tuesday evening, however, are some video clips, including one that appears to feature a young woman recounting her experience at one of the Epstein's masseuses. Her image and the image of the interview are both blurred. The files were originally handed over to lawmakers last month, but Republicans and Democrats in House Oversight Committee took more than a week to privately review them. The committee's GOP majority said it was coordinating with the Justice Department to redact information that could compromise the victims or ongoing criminal matters. It's expected the DOJ will continue to turn over the information, so there's more to come, but it's saying so far only 3% of it has been material. I'm sorry, guys, I got something caught in my eye. There's only been 3% of it that's never been seen by the public, so that's not much. That's not much. Now, make no mistake about it, this was a terrible guy. I'm not going to sit here and defend this guy or whatever, but I'm just saying that's just crazy to me. That's bananas. Only 3% of it. So what does that mean? Hold on one second. We got one of these men in here. Hold on one second, guys. Just give me 1 second. They remove. You think a whole bunch of bipartisan senators removed Trump? You think bipartisan senators did that? You really think that? Like, I want you to really think that deep in your mind. You think by bipartisan, they reviewed and decided to protect the president. And now one of those people on the Democratic side said, "Yeah, there's something to roll with him." You don't believe that? You really are adamant about that. What's his name? Jake Baby? No, not him. Low, whatever your name is. You really believe that? If you believe that, you're a crackhead. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second, make this thing. I gotta recalibrate this thing. This thing is be wilding sometimes. But no, I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think they removed Trump stuff. I don't think there was anything in there for Trump. I think Trump was a flirt. I think Trump, just like any other man, look at women. You know what I'm saying? He might even say some obnoxious things one time or two. But I don't think Trump was involved in that stuff. I don't think half of the people that they're saying it was involved, that this stuff was involved in it. I think it's the same thing that follows around the same thing that kind of went with Puff, where you got a lot of people that have high imaginations and they try to add marinara sauce to a pizza that don't need to be cooked. You understand what I'm saying? So what I mean is a lot of people, they'll throw in, extras because they want it to seem exciting. We've had now numerous times they're telling us, oh, all these, the Bill Clinton Foundation. And there's a weird painting of Bill Clinton in that house. I ain't gonna make no lie about that. There's a painting of Bill Clinton in a dress. It was sitting in, I don't know what it was. I look 70 years old, really. I have never been told I look 70 years old. And that's funny because the bitches I be fucking with be like 30. That's crazy. I look 70. This gentleman in the community section said I look, oh God, these people are real. And it's always dudes. It's always dudes. That shit is weird. Nigga said I look 70. Now I don't look 70, homie. That's one thing I know. I don't look 70. But okay, cool. You must have some you must have some horrible looking people in your family. What's the other one did it say? What did you say there was a list? That's what I don't understand. So basically, hey, Germany, what's going on? So basically today, what you have is you only have 3% of what now they're planning to introduce. The first batch out of 33,000 files in the Jeffrey Epstein case, which I was talking about earlier today, is now being released to the public. The problem is half of the things that are being introduced, and this is after senators individually looked at them themselves. So they knew what was in it as of last week. You understand what I'm saying? So they knew what was in it. There's only 3% of it they're saying is actual information that wasn't there initially that the public hasn't seen. Meaning you've seen it in one form or another, whether it's been on the news or whatever it's been on, you've seen this information before. It's been presented to you in one form or another. Now, what the Department of Justice and the House Oversight Community are both telling you is this is as much as you're going to get. Now, I'm not taking up for this mug or this fucking whore right here next to him. But what I'm telling you is this is what they say they got to offer. And saying that they say this is all they got to offer also means something else. This is all that they're going to give you. So any confirmation, this is why I said the Scooby-Doo conspiracy theory type of mentality, it only goes but so far. Because now all the Epstein sleuths, all that or whatever, those, because that's a whole different market too. Y'all now got to start a new story. Y'all now got to start a new story. Give me 1 second, guys. I almost got to share my stuff. Whoa, y'all left just because I was sharing it? That's crazy. Leave because you're sharing something. 10 more people left because I'm sharing. That's cool. You'll find very quickly, you can't take all these people that follow you very sad in the chat room. I said, hold on 1 second, I'm just sharing this. And you can't wait a couple seconds for me to share. No, people means to be fed. What did you say here? Gabar said it was on her desk. Then said there wasn't one. Right. That's what I think is sus. Either, I mean, I think right there, but that's a point that you can point out and say, yeah, I think that's a spot definitely why I would say there was something peculiar there. But I think it was needed. You know, sometimes you got to realize what's needed in situations like this versus what, hey, Tori, what's going on? Sometimes you got, when you have situations like this, people don't speak the direct same means that you would want to or go around it the same way. Now, I can understand that if the senators wanted to see these files of 33,000 that are now being released to the public about Epstein and what really went on, and all the sleuths out there, and they've been wanting this stuff too, I say get to work. Because they're only telling the public that there's 3% of these files that haven't been seen by the public previously. 3%. Out of 33,000. That's roughly not even maybe 400 to 900 pages in that scope. I might be a little bit off. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to start understanding here that this is what they say they're going to give you. This is what they're going to give you. You're not going to get any more than that. The senators, they saw this, went over it, reviewed it before. I read that in the article here. And now they're telling you, this is all you're going to get. All the different conspiracy theories, we'll never know. Because there's only 3% of this that hasn't been seen by the public. I want to underline that for you one more time. With these Epstein files being released, this is the conclusion or the beginning of the conclusion of the story. And it will wipe up under the wall. And if you choose to continue to talk about it, you can. But they're letting you publicly know this is what we are sitting on. And that's the difference you have to get with people when we're talking about this whole judicial process. A lot of people don't understand that. They deal with the judicial process with their own empathy. You know, Capitol Hill, the judicial process, all this is collectively say this is what we have to offer them. Your senators have said this is what we're going to give the public. Understand this. And no matter how much of a sleuth you are, they're not going to pick it back up. That's just what it is. Robert Garcia said Democrats didn't have any say. They were briefed, not included. That's not true because he needed 218 votes and he needed bipartisan. And he mentioned that he was going to have. I'll reread that. He needed 218 votes for the what is it? The House of what? That part I always forget a little bit. Hold on 1 second. The Justice Department, not the Justice Department. It's the House Oversight Committee. Yeah, the Oversight Committee. Right here it says it contains almost exclusive information that's been released publicly. Oversight Committee Democrats say that based on the initial review of the 33,000 files, only 3% of the documents contain new details. Thank you. I appreciate that compliment. I would say that the Democrats had a fuckload to do with it. They got to see this before it was even released to any of us. They'll tell you anything, won't they? I can walk on water only on the weekends myself. Now, sir, Biden was a traitor. He was a traitor to you. He was a traitor to you. He was a traitor to you. I'll say it 5 more times. He was a traitor to you. And so was his buddy that helped him reach the plains right before him. He was a traitor too. He didn't do anything to benefit you. Get this right here. I always promote myself. Guys, a PayPal link also, and there's also a what's the name down at the bottom in the description box if y'all want to check that out or whatever. Support the channel. I know many don't. What's going on, Fred Marines? There wasn't even a committee vote, much less full Congress. I beg to differ. You do know the Congress reconvened for the first time today after being on hiatus for a month. You do realize that, right? You do realize that, right? Oh, okay. So Congress reconvened today. I don't have to Google shit. I was talking about this shit earlier. You need to Google because you're not very smart. Like I said, motherfucker, Congress reconvened today. When they reconvene, that means that all parties must and should, after being on hiatus, come back. Now, you may not understand what reconvene means, my boy, but I suggest before you get into any type of conversation, even on the broad surface base of it, because I'm not no political pundit, I would suggest that you understand what some of these terminologies mean. And one of those terminologies of reconvene, meaning they've been gone for a month. And they reconvened and Senate not only to vote on this Epstein thing, which didn't take place at 2 p.m. this afternoon. No, but the hours they were there before that, they were trying to make sure that the government didn't shut down, sir. Reconvened. Why the fuck wouldn't all the motherfucking senators be there, you silly, slow motherfucker? Get this bitch ass nigga up out of here. I can't stand a dumb motherfucker. I can't stand a dumb motherfucker. That's why he ain't say shit else after that. You know he ain't say shit else after that, right? I'd rather see your mama thrown off a bridge. That's what I'd rather see. The Democrats threw the equivalent of 700 years worth of prison time at Trump during a time where they had those files. If they had anything on the list, then they wouldn't have had to resort to that. I mean, that's a theory. Hey, what's going on, Tina? I mean, that's a theory. That's a possibility. I wouldn't say I would beg to differ much from that. I will say this much. This was a long process. Do anybody understand how long Ghislaine Maxwell has been convicted? How many years ago that was now? Do you realize how long Jeffrey Epstein's been gone? It's been quite a while now. Congress only has to work to 101 days a year. There you go. There you go. Somebody that knows what they're talking about. Welcome, Mike Webb. That's what I said. You notice that? I said, is that so? You got a race for know-it-alls on here. We're on this app, and that's one of the things I hate about it. If I don't know something, then I don't know it. I'm not going to sit there and pretend with you, act like I know it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know it. If I'm wrong, I will admit that I'm wrong. I've done it many times on here. Well, not many times, but the times it's come up, I've done it. You know what I mean? Guys here earlier, I was like, sir, do you know what reconvenes for Congress? That means when they reconvene from Congress, it's usually over everything that they've skipped for a couple of months now or a couple of weeks now. So they've been gone for a month now. They reconvened today, September the 2nd, because yesterday was Labor Day or whatever. And this guy's sitting here and he's trying to argue with me. And I'm like, dude, listen, you're not understanding. When they reconvene, that means that all the senators back up. They were voting on literally whether the government was going to shut down or not. Are you out of your mind? You sound retarded. Boyd already redacted the files the last time he was in office. I mean, some people said that. I've heard that before. Hi, and who is she in court for? Oh, you talking about Cardi? She was in court for some corny ass broad. I mean, I'm gonna talk about Cardi in a second because it was so funny shit with the videos. Anyway, see, I'm here to help. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to help. Anyway, long story short, I'll take care of it. Anyway, long story short, yeah, I forgot what the lady's name. It starts with a H, but I mean, she didn't have a win. And they tried to present it later on. Her lawyers like, oh, we never were doing that to multi-millions, and why the fuck are you in court? You know? But let me just finish with this Epstein thing, because this is more paramount to the conversation than that is. This man was an abuser. The woman that helped him, standing right there, as you can see that he's hugging on, and they've got pictures that go back damn near stemming to 20 years. She helped facilitate a lot of it, and that's why she's in jail right now. Today they had people, and I want y'all to hear this, they had people that testified what Jeffrey Epstein did to them. Yeah, they testified. The House Oversight Committee has just released another batch. But I want y'all to hear this, because this right here is from Melanie Stansbury. And I know somebody said they didn't want to talk about the Democrats. Well, we got to talk about the Democrats. I want y'all to hear this.
Melanie Stansbury, and I represent New Mexico's 1st Congressional District. And I want to say that I'm truly stunned by what I heard today. The thing about being a victim of assault, of sexual violence, is that it not only steals your sense of self, it steals your dignity, it steals your ambition, it steals your hopes, it steals your dreams, and it steals your sense of personhood. And what we heard today is from a half dozen victims, some of whom have already pursued both civil and criminal suits against both Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, as well as from several who have never told their stories in public before. But before I turn to the substance of the case itself, I want to say to anyone out there who is currently experiencing abuse of any kind, we see you. We are here fighting for you, and we will fight for justice for every person who is experiencing sexual violence in this country, and that is what this case is actually about. But I want to be clear that what we heard today is a cover-up, and it is a cover-up of epic proportions, a cover-up involving the United States government, the justice system, rich and powerful individuals, a cover-up potentially involving foreign countries and foreign actors. And yes, here today in this House, as our colleagues are up in the House chamber in the Rules Committee, a cover-up by the Republicans in this chamber. Because as you will find out in the coming days and weeks, this goes all the way to the top. So let's be clear about that. There has been a systemic failure of the justice system for decades. A systemic failure to hold people who are powerful and have money to account, and that has allowed not just hundreds but potentially thousands of women, not only in the United States but around the world to be.
Okay. Shout out to the Senator woman from Mexico. Keep doing the right thing, Mom. When she get that little voice. You know that voice. I've been around a lot of white people all my life. It's certain type of white women that have that voice. And I won't believe the pain and the anguish. I'm like, oh, fuck. Here she go with the theater works. Anyway, did y'all notice something that I noticed? Why didn't you talk about what the victims, or at least hinted us on to what the victims were saying? Not that you interviewed them, but what the heck were they saying? Could you allude to something like that? You just went straight on a political tirade and made it political. Instead, you should have made it about the victims. And I think that the victims of doing that interview was set as precedents and on purpose to make it look like they cared. I don't think she cared like that. You understand what I'm saying? Because if she cared like that, you wouldn't have went into a tirade politically. That's what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck what side it was. You wouldn't have went into a political tirade attacking the GOP and saying the GOP is hiding this and hiding that. I know it, and you'll see it in the coming weeks. All right, if we see it in the coming weeks, bitch, we'll see it in the coming weeks. Respectfully, for the senator woman out of Mexico. But at the same time, what about the motherfucking chicks that you interviewed today? What the fuck, or whoever, what the fuck did they have to say? Why didn't you talk about that? You went on a political, are y'all not following what I'm saying? You even got senators using these girls in their stories, and motherfuckers is lost with it. They lost with it, dog. You got senator women that are sitting there and they acting like they give a fuck about this shit. Maybe she does. I don't know. But my point is, it seemed like since you was so hesitant to talk about what was in the interviews that you conducted with these victims today, yes, well, her and her department, they interviewed them. It was amongst so few other people, but they interviewed these. They interviewed these witnesses today, and the overall premise that were victims of Jeffrey Epstein, and they asked them a litany of different questions. Some of these people have got prosecution going on as far as the civil lawsuit. Some of them don't. Some of them never been seen by the public. Some of them are very vocal, and they very don't care if you see them in the public. So you have one step of a problem there. The other problem is you're not when you segue. So you have to be. See, this is what senators and people like this don't get. This is why you always have to stay connected to the common man. This is why I curse. This is why I smoke cigarettes, and I will always fucking be like that because you have to stay connected to the common man. The common man is the public. Okay, so let me explain to you exactly what the fuck old boy mean here. What I mean is this: the public doesn't give a fuck with you, respectfully enough to both parties. You are the GDP or the fucking Democrats are thinking. Fuck both of y'all in this sentiment. What we need to fucking find out is we want to know what the fuck was said in those interviews. And what did those people go through? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, just to put it to you bluntly, Congress reconvened today, Senate reconvened, however you want to put it, and they reconvened today, and they had a choice of different subjects that they were going to attack today. One of them being it was making sure that the country wasn't shut down with the government failure. And the second one was a 2 p.m. Conversation about Jeffrey Epstein, and hopefully the House committee releasing these files. The House committee decided they wanted to. So they released them. They're going to be releasing them in batches. It's all culminating to be 33,000 pages. They're saying that only 3% of these 33,000 pages have to be under review from both sides, the GOP and the Democrats reviewing senators, different senators reviewing these files. They're saying only 3% of the freaking what's the name is not ever been seen by the public. 3%, that's it. That bitch, dirty blue stinking ass jacket was out of order. The lady last name was Ellis that was suing Cardi. Yeah, she was out of line. I'm gonna talk about Cardi in like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Let me get this goofy out of here. Hey, CJ, if that's who I think it is, hey man, you need to get a life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Link up, get in contact, start acting like a grown man, stop acting like a kid. Remember I said that. Sorry, my friend, but they can't tell us what they said. They agree to speak to them if it stays who's suing Cardi. I'm gonna get back to Cardi in a second. U.S. government as a corporation, as a Peter, man, listen, that's new to you. I know that shit, and they had that shit out there 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Always in other people's business. Always in other people's business. Okay, all good. Well, suggest something to me that I should talk about since you the man. I mean, like, how many followers you got? You've been here for 11 years and got no subscribers. You are definitely someone to pillar, pay attention to, and mimic in this wild catastrophe we call online. Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for All Good. He has been here for 11 years and has no subscribers. Don't nobody give a fuck about you or what the fuck you talking about. Find a bridge and do what the good Lord intended for you. All right. If it stays private, as far as Cardi or the Epstein thing, I really want to talk about this Epstein thing right now, Tori. I'm going to tell you why. Because I was talking about this earlier, right? And the reason I keep talking about it is because of the pure simple factory of this. A lot of people in the African American community, yes ma'am, a lot of people in the African American community have not elected themselves to talk about Epstein. And Tori, I know you be in the trenches, you be watching shit going on and everything else or whatever. You kind of get me when I say some of the things I say. There's not enough African American or Latin reporters talking about this. Even as these files are going to be released, all 33,000 of them, you're going to hear most of them mum. They're not going to say anything. But when it was the Diddy situation or whatever, they had all to say about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hold on 1 second. I got one of those weird men in here again. This is a Jeffrey. When you see weird men write stuff in there, just remember they're in the same hue of thinking as Jeffrey Epstein. That's all you got to remember. Because they'll do the same thing. They'll assault a woman. If a nigga come in there randomly and talking sexually to a man, they'll assault a woman. Trust me. But and I know this. I'm a guy. Trust me on this one. Anyway, long story short, I think Epstein and the Ghislaine Maxwell saga is over. I think potentially they'll end up freeing Ghislaine Maxwell or somehow or some way or whatever in the near future. They're not going to do it immediately. It's too obvious. They might wait until Trump gets out of office and do it. But it will be coming the forthcoming. Trust me. She won't be in there for a few more years. Unless, never mind about that. But anyway, listen, right? Never mind about that one. Don't worry about that one. Ghislaine, Mademoiselle Maxwell. I don't like that woman. She, it repains me because a lot of the times when I have these conversations, I say, yo, a lot of women out here are evil, very evil. And there's been tales. You see, y'all think Ghislaine Maxwell's story is new. It's not. There have been brothels all over the world since the beginning of times. Mary Magdalene was a prostitute, one of the favorites of Jesus. Mary Magdalene was a prostitute. She worked in a whorehouse and was one of the favorites of Jesus. So my point is, brothels and women facilitating sex on behalf of men or whatever the case may be has been seen a lot of times. A lot of people won't even admit it or even have a conversation about it. But with Ghislaine Maxwell, she helped Epstein facilitate, at least that's what the courts are saying, facilitate many of the things that happen here. And we got the audacity to look at this fucking cunt bitch and act like she's a fucking victim. It's just the audacity for me. I'm sorry, people. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. You know what I'm saying? But it's just amazing that now more African Americans are talking about this and they're talking about how much they're at what's the name. Most of these people that are here right now, they're here to hear about Cardi B. They don't care about Epstein. Most of the people that are here right now, they have more interest in a girl and a girl fight than they do in actually getting to the bottom of this sexual predator motherfucker that built his own house to torture young girls. I want y'all to remember that. Stay in the moment, why don't you, while you're viewing. These people are not here. That's why I put Cardi first, just to prove that point. They don't care about Epstein. And that's what they should be cared about. These people are stuck in the matrix. That's why when you see certain trolls coming in here, that's a troll that's so deep in the matrix. You've been here for 11 years. You see how I call them out, how long they've been here? Son, if you've been here for 11 motherfucking years, you are caught in the matrix, my boy. And there's no coming out. There's no escaping that shit. You feel me? That's where you belong. So, you don't take people too serious on this app any goddamn way. Thoughts on NG in Chicago. My thoughts on the National Guard in Chicago go like this. I think it's needed. I said it last week. I thought it was needed. I'll tell you why I said that. It's funny. 47 lawyers went to see Maxwell to make sure she didn't tell on 47 and move her country club to federal jail. I don't think she was going to tell on him. What I think it was they went to go see if she knew anything about anything that he said, and you remove somebody from them jails, Toria, to a new location. Let me say something to you, Toria. If you've never been in jail, you don't know. Even if you move to another motherfucking, say niggas move you to another tier, you know what I'm saying? So now you're at the top tier instead of the bottom tier. Well, you already safer already. You know what I'm saying? It's dangerous being on that bottom tier. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas have been locked down from it, they know that. Or say like they move you to a new pod. You know what I'm saying? Well, you niggas know it's safe over there. You know what I'm saying? So that gratitude will be different. You have to look at it through the eyes. She is a prisoner. She's not a free woman. You know what I'm saying? She's a prisoner. So when you're looking through things through the scopes of a prisoner's eyes, small things like that are an improvement. And I won't lie, I think some of it was meant to be as a gift to her in a certain type of sentiment for just sitting there having a conversation, whatever they did or didn't get out of it. But in no fact of matter do I think that was the reason. They did that to make her comfortable. The more comfortable somebody gets by small things, even being sent to a smaller jail or a better jail that, like you described, the country club. No, that just emphasizes a motherfucker to talk more. I don't want to leave here no more. Let me give you an example. You ever seen that show, The First 48? Toria, if you're still here. You ever see the show, The First 48? On The First 48, they'll bring a nigga a motherfucking 5-piece and a biscuit. And that nigga will tell on the whole fucking block for that 5-piece of the biscuit. Because right in that moment, that 5-piece and the biscuit is an amenity to him. It's everything to him. That's why he'll tell on the whole crew. He'd be like, yo, I don't want to go to jail. And I don't want to be able to get away from these biscuits and these motherfucking butter and honey. I know this fucking biscuits, all the biscuits at Popeyes, in my opinion, is trash. I ain't never seen a biscuit at Popeyes yet that was fluffy and tasted delicious. The motherfuckers is nasty. They taste like you could throw in a motherfucker, you could build an igloo with them motherfuckers. They so fucking strong. Been to jail, state prison, country club for 5 years. All right, so you know what I'm talking about there. You should know exactly what I'm talking about there. You give a motherfucker, tell a motherfucker, listen, we gonna take you up out of here where you locked down 23 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get it fucked up. You might not come out for a week. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get fucked up. You know, nigga want to smoke in the cell. Niggas want to bring contraband in. Let me bring in a little cocaine, sell it for some commissary. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's how niggas was living. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know what I mean? I done seen niggas come in with bubbles and all that. You know what I mean? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I've been in an environment where niggas was slipping water in a bag under the door. You know what I mean? So I know how I feel. You've been in that. She's been locked down, I think 5 years or something out of a 20-year sentence. Just a little fun fact I could share with you and never told or none of these souls. I appreciate that being real. They on the live Epstein. So my nigga, you here taking up for him? That's your man's. That's your man's. Go ahead, let it be known. That's your man's. Homie named Amar. He said Jeffrey Epstein's is his man. You was hanging with him. That's your boy. That's your boy. You taking up for him? Ahmed Benton, that's your man. Jeffrey Epstein, your boy. That's your boy. Everybody, Ahmed said Jeffrey Epstein, his boy. He said they murdered Jeffrey. Why would the fuck would you give a fuck? Is that your man's? Is that your motherfucker, man? Harlem Legend, what's popping, y'all? Always time for Harlem and the Bronx up in here. Listen, that's your man's, though? So why the fuck you worried about if they unalive that nigga or not? Do you know what this motherfucker did? He was fucking with 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. Listen, man, you wouldn't have that conversation around a whole bunch of men talking about they unalive them. Nobody would give a fuck. You wouldn't even bring that shit up in the conversation except for softies. Softies would have that conversation with you. I got friends that are softies, so you can have conversation. Well, I don't particularly think Jeffrey Epstein met his demise by hanging himself and all that. I do understand. You don't understand. And what you're trying to do is force me to understand your opinion. Sit back and listen. My point is, I don't give a flying fuck what they did to Epstein. Fuck that motherfucker. How about that? And anybody in here that want to dispute, it shouldn't even be a fucking conversation. Fuck that motherfucker. That's the end of the conversation. If you was around us as a man, you was in a conversation, you was trying to, but you don't understand, we probably beat you up. Fuck that nigga. There is no excuse for it. Now niggas fuck around and they'll fuck around and a chick, I've seen this before, a chick will be like, yo, I'm 18 or whatever, and she end up being 16 or something like that. I've seen that happen before with niggas. That's one thing. This nigga had a pattern of specifically grabbing up young girls, taking them to an island and schmutting them out, taking their innocence. I don't give a fuck what you say, man. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't give a fuck about no kind. You're not understanding me, homie. I don't give a fuck. I'm not here to have a lateral conversation about that motherfucker. For what? I don't want to have a sensible, civilized conversation. Nigga, I live in Connecticut. I don't want to have a civilized conversation about that nigga. I want to bombard this motherfucker with embarrassment the same motherfucking way they did Puff, nigga. That's my modus operandi. I don't give a flying fuck about Jeffrey motherfucking Epstein. Made that nigga rotten piss, that punk motherfucker. Told you the only thing they had to do was drop him off. Next time, just drop him off of Brooklyn and have 12 cops say, hey, fellas, you know what he did? As they pulling off, have them say it on the blowhorn. That's the only thing you got to do. That's the only thing you got to do. They would have took care of Jeffrey Epstein. And so I'm saying when there need to be no investigations on them niggas got him. You know who? No, the neighborhood won't say anything. Guess it's an unsolved mystery then, Judge. Dum 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 dum. That's all you had to do. We would have took care of Jeffrey Epstein, and niggas around there wouldn't have cared that the little girls were white. That's the point, homie. If you was talking about the list ain't got nothing to do with. Now you're trying to switch up the conversation. Say I don't like tricky motherfuckers. Don't be a tricky bitch boy. Bitch boys do shit like that, nigga. You know good goddamn well what the fuck you was saying. Don't run back now. Don't be a bitch now. I don't like bitches on my channel. Don't be a bitch, Ahmad. And like I said, you're talking about two different things. Them killing him and them releasing the files today are two fucking totally different subjects. Don't you sit up here and try to act like they're synonymous, motherfucker. They're not synonymous. Fuck that motherfucker. The documents, though 33K of them, are resolution or examples of what the courts have in pursuit of prosecuting this motherfucker. That means after he's done the crimes. So As they were prosecuting him, he was still alive. This will kills your conversation right here. He was still alive. I'm gonna say it again. As they were prosecuting this motherfucker and his side bitch, you mean she rest in piss too eventually. You understand what I'm saying? You have to also have the connotation of this. The motherfucker was alive. And I'm not your motherfucking homeboy. Okay? Slurpee. Anytime you have one of them connotations, I'm gonna call you Slurpee. Alright? You heard me, Slurpee? Okay, cool. Slurpee King. That's gonna be your new name, Slurpee King. You understand what I'm saying? Watch that shit. I'm not your motherfucking homeboy, nigga. Not releasing the files, Beth, you backwards as fuck. The files are being released, dumbass. God damn, these some stupid ass people on here. Get this dumb bitch the fuck up on out of here. Not releasing the files protects everyone. Bitch, the files have been released as of right now. Slow ass motherfucker. I really be people that come on here to be trying to challenge me, not because they right. They be on here trying to challenge me just to challenge me. That shit, you beg to differ? Sir, I'm going to say one more motherfucking time. And I don't give a fuck what you're saying. Reality is reality. After that, I don't give a fuck what you think, all right? You're just arguing to be arguing. The motherfucker was going to court as he was being prosecuted. That means if he was being prosecuted, the crimes already happened. Therefore, that's how he was being prosecuted. When they saw in depth, which I'm believing was some of this shit that they saw, whatever, what the senators saw, and they reviewed before they decided, or the House Oversight Committee releasing these after a 2 p.m. convention today, and to speak and discuss this matter specifically, alongside making sure the goddamn government didn't shut down. You understand what I'm saying? The point I'm fucking getting at, besides your conspiracy fucking theories, what's available to the public and what the conclusion of this shit is, regardless of your fucking conspiracy theories part 2.5, is of this. The shit's over today. The motherfucker was going to court, and as he was going to court, he got offed. However it fucking happened. And why would you give a fuck about the mystery of what happened to him any fucking way? Back in the day, you see, that's how I know you're not one of us, dude. You're something. You're one of these newcomer guys that tries to get into politics and how things move in the country. You just don't get a quite comprehension of it. And you come with it with this quasi type of conservative, quasi type new wave, quasi type. I used to hang around a whole bunch of white guys, but I'm nothing like them type of attitude, and that shit just don't run. People see through that. You notice there ain't been a white person in my chat, and this motherfucker's white. Ain't been a white person in my chat yet to say, yo, man, he's right. Ahmad's right. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. Yeah, old news, old news. The files have been searched. The files are out there now to be discussed. And just like George said right there at the bottom, it is an old fucking story. But I'm going to keep it up. You know why? Because ain't none of y'all motherfuckers say that Puff's story was an old story. And Puff's story ain't an old story, is it? But this motherfucker, you want me to sweep this motherfucker under the rug? Nah, I ain't sweeping his ass up under the rug. Fuck that nigga. We gonna keep talking about this bitch ass nigga till it's motherfucking exhausted. I want to talk about his family next. What kind of shitty motherfuckers were them to raise that motherfucker? You know, it takes a lot. I get on here sometimes and I talk about how, like, a lot of African American women, they got to put themselves with the blame because they raised some of these boys, right? But at the same token, we got to say the same thing about white women. White women are raising some of these maniacal motherfuckers, like to go to the school on the first day of school and shoot 2 white children. But y'all still will continue the conversation and be like, oh, like this monster you see on my channel right here. But y'all still continue the conversation like it's niggas that's the problem. Oh, black fatigue. No, I say it's a low bunch of different fatigues. All collectively is one clusterfuck. This motherfucker was able to operate for like 20 goddamn years. They talking about international people involved in this. They talking about this possibility. That's what the chick said. The senator woman from Mexico. I don't want to disrespect the bitch. I mean, you know what I mean. Puff done up with. I hear you. Puff done up with. What about Weinstein? You think Weinstein done up with too, homie? Because, you know, Weinstein on his way to another motherfucking trial. You think he done up with too? How about the nigga from Abercrombie Fitch? You know about him? You think he done up? What about the four brothers that was snatching chicks left and right and taking sexual advantage of them, and they had to go down to Florida to get them from New York? Well, he did down to New York. Excuse me, down to Florida waiting the trial, and then they got to come back to New York to face trial. Oh, you got out of that. See, well, that's what I try to tell y'all. A lot of these motherfuckers that be sitting online and they be talking about that. You see how he had a preference with Puff? Puff done. Nigga, Puff, you don't know what the fuck going on with Puff. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to be their mantra that they put out there. So that's why I said a lot of these conversations that we have are really race based. There's no way you're going to tell me that those two motherfuckers shouldn't be more of a topic. You understand what I'm saying? Those two motherfuckers should, all right, Ahmad, that's enough of you. Goodbye. Goodbye. You're a cocksucker. Now you want to talk about Puff and R. Kelly. You want to talk about Puff and R. Kelly, but you want to have theory conversations on whether or not they killed Jeffrey Epstein. Nigga, get your motherfucking slurpy ass the fuck up out of you fucking slurpy. The Queen's son, Prince Andrew, was sued for a girl with the whole Epstein. He came up to his island as much as Trump did. Yeah, but it's never been exerted to the public. That's what I'm saying. It's all based on conspiracy theories to that point. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think what happens is a lot of people can't distinguish, and I'm not saying you, Toria. I think a lot of people can't, and this is why these conversations exist. And that's why I said I'm trying to, when it comes to this shit, I'm gonna come back and talk about this motherfucker. Fuck this nigga. But you know what I'm saying? And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because this nigga is 4 times, if not 20 times worse than Puff. But Puff is motherfucking paramount to the conversation when we talk about shit like this. Not this motherfucker. This motherfucker should be the poster board. Him and Weinstein should be the fucking poster board. And that motherfucker from Abercrombie and Fitch. But they'll perceive to you that these 3 white motherfuckers somehow or another, yes, that's what I call them, these 3 white motherfuckers who ain't about shit, taking advantage of little girls and little boys. I'm gonna give a fuck if you all white. If you mad at me for saying that, motherfucker, you rock with that nigga, and you'll defend him. Defending that bitch ass nigga. Fuck Epstein. Motherfucking scared in here to say something about Epstein, but want to talk all that shit about motherfucking Puff. That's the reason why a lot of people don't want to, in the black and Latin community, don't want to talk, because the girls were white. They won't tell you that, but that's really why a lot of them don't want to talk about Epstein, because the girls were white. Isn't that crazy? He was a real motherfucking monster, wasn't he, Tina Gray? This nigga built a house. Had fucking dolls and shit. Let me show y'all the inside of Epstein's house so y'all can get a scope of what the fuck I'm talking about here. So y'all can see how dastardly this motherfucker was. And as I said earlier, if you're just now getting here, at the House Committee, House Oversight Committee decided today to release Jeffrey Epstein's files. And they're saying that only 3% of it has not been seen by the public, which it has me asking a whole bunch of questions. Was this a waste of time? Was this a rouse to make us think there was more in that shit than what it was? You know what I'm saying? And so then that way, you know what I mean? We get dialed up. It might have been, who knows? Epstein Island house. Let me show y'all this fucking house this motherfucker had. For those that have never seen it before. Let's go here. Where is it? The images. Let's show this shit. So this, and when I say this place was huge, and he had it painted, oddly enough, like Egyptian. People that know will know this is either Mesopotamian or Egyptian upon seeing it. When I show it to you guys, you're going to understand that real quick too. This is the house right here, as you can see it. And this is where Jeffrey Epstein did his debauchery right here. One of the locations anyway out of many. Just to give you a better scope, this is how it sat in the hill in the Bahamas. Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to show y'all some more, because a lot of people have not ever seen this compound. They just talk about it. When they say Epstein Island, yeah, it's a mini island with this house built on it. And a long drive, which you can see right there from the right-hand side. You have to drive up to this compound. It's actually on the top of a hill. That's why it overlooks the rest of it. You can see right there in the left-hand, right-hand side. See right there where my finger is? That's a cliff. Here's a better scope so you can see it a little bit better. This is the size of this thing. You see that right there to the side and the right? Those are cliffs. This thing is up in the sky. You understand? Now I'm gonna show y'all something else. 1 second here, kids. Now, this was the weird Madonna effigy. I don't know if you want to say that. That's hanging from the wall when you walked in. This is the inside. So this is the inside of the house, and this was the weird effigy that was hanging there. And as you can see, this is by a rope. So this is not meant to mirror the crucifixion or whatever. I don't know what this is meant to mirror, but you can see this woman is just hanging off a rope. Why would you have this decoration sitting up on the stairways? I'll show y'all some more stuff. Let me show y'all some more here. Oh, this one particular one I want to show you as well. This right here, my friends, is actually one of the bedrooms right there. I'm figuring that's his main bedroom, perhaps where he just slept mainly. And the debauchery might have happened in some of the other places. Being the way that that room was kept up, usually when they have guys like this that are involved in stuff like that, they have one particular room that they do all the other stuff. And this is why you'll see people tied up in the basement and stuff like that or whatever. If y'all haven't heard, there's another set of that has happened in Ohio again. They found somebody tied up in the basement. This time it was a black dude with some prostitutes. I don't know if y'all heard about that or not. That's another picture of the house. The house was in disarray sometimes, and then sometimes it was perfectly clean. This right here is an article when they actually, people of Bahamas bought the house and they planned on demolishing it. And as you can see, it's been vandalized, or it had been vandalized at that point over and over and over again. So you saw the plaster and everything else. So nobody been there to keep up the upkeep of it. You can see right here where it fell in disarray. The roof had been knocked off. This was some of this, I'm pretty sure, was happened when the hurricane happened down there in the Bahamas. So it probably attributed to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and this is where they fully demolished. This is where they came in with the bulldozer, and that's the house afterwards after they fully demolished it. So like I said, the people of there, they bought the house and they actually destroyed it. They had it demolished. Here's a better picture of it right here. As you can see, they cleaned right through that fucker. Fuck them. And shout out to the people of the Bahamas who bought this place and that tried to knock it down. And it should have never even been an issue of them having to knock it, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like I said, it's sad that we don't have more people to join in on this conversation or whatever. Maybe I'm not the guy to deliver this type of conversation or whatever. And they'd rather be more fixed on talking about Cardi B. Not Cardi B. Oh my God, Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? Cardi wouldn't even fuck with y'all, nigga. Cardi don't fuck with niggas like y'all. So let me move on because, like I said, you know, the African American community, they're more set on talking about Puffy instead of talking about this real monster. So unfortunately, we got to move on from that conversation. No worries. What did you say in here that got rejected? Just give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna pull up out of here in a minute. You did it. When did it become a crime to watch sex? Diddy had nothing but watch sex with others. Voyeur, check your dictionary. I'm telling them, Toria. It's just like, I'm Toria at this point. I have no, and this is respect for you because you're a good black woman, and so is Tina Gray and a few other black women to come over here and check me. But I have to get out of the fray of like this community shit. Like it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me explain. You notice I had a shitload of people in here when I first started this live. They was in here because they thought I was getting ready to start off talking about Cardi. They wasn't in here because they thought I was going to talk about Epstein first. They thought I was in here to talk about Cardi. So that's why they sat here, because they was waiting for me to talk about Cardi like I'm about to talk about Cardi now. Now watch how the numbers fluctuate based on that. You understand what I'm saying? Then you'll find what the majority and the bulk of these people's interests lie at. Their lives lie in gossiping and what's the tea and all this shit. All these appendages that women have brought forth and now forefront in the culture. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? We sitting here trying to talk about sexual assault, and I'm actually trying to defend women, and none of these bitches get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I think my days are, you know, trying to save the community, pero la americano la negro. Those days are done. Yeah, we're done with that one. 2026, don't come asking me for shit. Hey, don't ask me, hey, yo, Dad, we need you to help over there. Fuck that, I'm good. Treat you the same way you treat me. Same way you treat me. Just give me 1 second, y'all. Let me share this real quick. That's what that's about. So I saw earlier where a residential gossiper that don't know shit about shit. I knew I had to go over there and check her shit because I said Cardi done got this. Hold on 1 second. Let me just make sure it's something real quick. Just give me 1 second here. Let me just share. I got to get more people back in here because they didn't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? I'm going to talk about from two perspectives or whatever. That's okay. Y'all can keep flagging the post. Y'all keep doing all that shit. Don't matter to me. I don't care about that. Y'all can flag the post. Y'all can tell people don't come over here. Tell them don't donate to. Do all that shit. I don't care. Do what niggas do. Okay? Do what niggas do. I don't. You understand what I'm saying? Keep flagging it. Tell niggas don't come over here. All that. Let's talk about this Cardi shit real quick. All right, so Cardi, if you tap into this, what up, Ax? You heard? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? So listen, man, it's wearing this 2-line over here, 2 and a 5. Listen, that nigga that you got, you threw a pin at today, I know, son. You know what I'm saying? Son, a cool nigga. You know what I'm saying? His name is Denat. I know, son. I done met son in person or whatever. He was here when he was covering, and I'm talking about Cardi. She threw a pin, if y'all don't know, she threw a pin. I'm gonna show y'all the video in a minute. She threw a pin at a vlogger today doing the court case or whatever, doing her court case today. And it was actually funny as fuck. But as soon as I heard the question being asked, I was like, oh shit, I know this nigga. Let me tell you about the boy, because I know something about the nigga. You know what I'm saying? He's not a bad dude. I met him in person. A lot of people think he's a bad dude and he's malicious or whatever. He's not a malicious dude. He just, homie, and like I said, I met him briefly. You know what I'm saying? But son, he ain't a bad person. I think the way he was trying to ask the question, if somebody that was from the X or somebody's from New York, they would have found it kind of insulting. You know what I'm saying? Because there was so many cameras out there and things like that. And I think he doesn't understand that, like, entonces, ¿sabes? Pues la gente latino, entonces, ¿sabes? Se siempre respetando pero la mujer. Entonces, ¿sabes? Su salud, la arena, entonces, ¿sabes? Dominicana, por mí, cámate, pero la está negro ahí, entonces, ¿sabes? Este es mi amigo ahí. Esto está bueno, entonces, ¿sabes? Dominicana. Gracias, arena. Por mí. Entonces, ¿sabes? Yo no soy un sangre, entonces, ¿sabes? Claro, no grita ahí, entonces, ¿sabes? Pero un Didi, entonces, ¿sabes? Pero un Bucky. So, yo soy un bad boy ahí. Entonces, ¿sabes? So, por mí, cámate que, pero está negro ahí, dice. Gracias, no, pero en permiso, pero la está moreno ahí, dice. Entonces, ¿sabes? Eso no te entiendo, no problema, no nada. Entonces, ¿sabes? Okay, so, anyway, I hope she hears that. Long story short, after that, I know, boy, he cool. You know what I'm saying? He asked the question. I don't think he asked it out of malice. He just really wanted to know. But that's why I tell a lot of y'all as vloggers, just keep your real voice. Don't ask certain obnoxious questions because you think these niggas want to hear it. Don't do that. That dude denied he ain't no bad dude. He just asking the question. I mean, a lot of other people ask the question too. I think the problem was that you're brown, denied, and yeah, just don't ask questions about babies. That's all, my nigga. Don't ask no questions about no babies. Other than that, he's cool. He's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna really vouch for him on that one. The nigga cool. Well, entonces saben, cámate, pero oye, dominicana. Por mí, entonces saben, por la barriga, entonces saben, por el momento, tranquilo, entonces saben, está moreno ahí, ese tan bueno. El americano, la flamingo, un poquito, entonces en esa boca eso es suave, entonces sabes, siempre era un chanchero, pero on YouTube. Entonces sabes, este cabrón tan bueno. So the nigga you threw the pin at today, I know that nigga in real life. He came up here and he, gracias, entonces sabes, claro, la mujer. Entonces sabes, yo no soy la grica, no sangre, nada. Entonces sabes, yo soy sólido, no tiene el amigo, pero no bronce, pero no hardo, entonces sabes, no luego yo. Pues este cabrón ahí, siempre, un chanchero, pero la boca. Entonces, sabes, en esta cabrón es el Flamingo. Entonces, sabes, claro. So, I mean, he cool though. So, do not just be on your P's and Q's. Cardi from the Bronx, man. We move, talk different. There's a lot of these motherfuckers on here that's liars, though. He ain't never lie on me. You know what I'm saying? He had the opportunity to lie on me. Let me tell you when I started liking the nigga. I'd heard nothing but bad things about him. I went to go watch his shows a couple of times. I'm telling you from my experience, Toria. I went to go listen to his shows a couple of times, and I was like, yo, what the fuck is he talking about? I didn't know what he was talking about because I didn't know the things that transpired. I think what happens is with him, and as far as his format, it's kind of like some of the shit that happened with me. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. Like people will go, like, and I've told you this before, Toria. People will go to other people's podcasts, and you know this because you know you be somewhere else, other places too. They'll go to other people's channels and they'll start out conversations about this person, that person, say why this person bad, or whatever, and it completely is not true. But this is all the trend they get for doing the same thing about stars. You see what I'm saying? So now a lot of the stars, including Cardi, are up in arms or whatever, whatever. This clip highlighted, it superseded the fact that Cardi, you know what I'm saying, beat this shit today. This shit is over with. You understand what I'm saying? That clip superseded the fact that Cardi made it out of this. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? So of course I'm gonna sit up here and say something for the action. Cardi, you see this shit? Bitch, hit that motherfucking car shit. You nigga fucked up man. This motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We not down $2,000. Anyway, you know what I mean? Não estão lixando em quem? You know what I'm saying? Você tá, não tô sabendo claro. Okay, don't tell. But I'm just saying, like, honestly and truthfully, like, I don't think either one of them meant like that. She kept the temperament or whatever, but people, the stars are like starting to be vexed about these niggas nowadays that are vloggers and shit like that. And they on the up. Niggas saw everything that was happening down there at the Diddy trial. You thought a lot of niggas thought niggas was sitting here not only watching that. It was certain niggas that I can't even tell you every move, but it was moves being played by certain individuals in the music game, and I'll keep it a buck with you. You know what I'm saying? Some of it I knew about. You know what I'm saying? Because it was funny shit going on down there. It was narrative being drawn and everything else. So now niggas see that shit and they see how they worked on that one. And a lot of times these rappers are, they feel obligated to talk to these niggas sitting in their closets and shit like that. But back to the knot. When I met him, speaking of the Diddy trial, I met him at the Diddy trial. I met him like the last 3 weeks of it. And I said already on here, I said, yo, when I see the nigga, I'm gonna tap nigga on the show, say what's up. So damn sure I saw the nigga tap nigga on the show. I said, what's up? He gonna tell you the same story. I ain't had no malice towards him. He had no malice towards me. I said, what's up, B? Nice to meet you, da 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 da. And I moved off. Later on that day, I think, or maybe the next day, I was on his camera real quick. Same thing. He was respectful, whatever, whatever, whatever. You know, he tried to pull my channel. I said, I don't need you to pull my channel. But the reason I respected him was because me and him, before me meeting him down there, me and him go back with the Huggy Pamper situation. Only Toria gonna know what I'm talking about. We're back with Huggy. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know what the fuck Huggy doing nowadays. I ain't even spoken about Huggy in a long time. But he went through that tirade. Pork Chop went through that tirade, and a couple other people did. Toria, you know who I'm talking about. Pork Chop and motherfucking other one. So, you know, it was crazy because if you're going to call him a liar, you got to call some of the players that was involved in some of these subjects liars too. You understand what I'm saying? We can't just point one direction and say he's a liar. What I see in a lot of his videos, and now it makes sense, a lot of his shit was retaliating because people was lying on the knot. And I found that. And one of the reasons I knew he wasn't like that, because he had the opportunity, and I'm going to tell you what I mean. There was this girl that was a vlogger, and she was talking about Huggy Pamper. She don't live in the States. You know what I'm talking about, Tori? Tap in with me, you know what I'm talking about. So Shorty had this whole tirade where she was talking about a black American woman who's formerly a singer, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, whatever. And she was making her bread off this. Like, people was really donating to her just basically to bash a chick every day and every night. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, Tori. That's why I say I can talk with you like that. So, long story short, you know what I'm saying? I forgot what it was. I think I made a video or two or whatever just protesting it. Like, Huggy don't even know. Yeah, that's a funny thing. Huggy did some crazy shit one time, and I was like, bitch, I'm just been taken up for your goofy ass. You understand what I'm saying? But never mind that. You know what I'm saying? Also, did you notice you didn't get subpoenaed? You better be thanking me. The fuck? Anyway, long story, that's real talk. That's real talk. You understand what I'm saying? It was a way you could have stayed in. Never mind, man. Anyway, long story short, we ain't gonna get into that because that's a whole different story. My point is, at that time period or whatever, the chick, she started making videos and she threw my name in it, didn't know who I was or nothing. She just started talking and spilling like I was just some regular nigga or something like that. And I was like, oh, hold up, bitch. Hold up. Cardi always looking good. So anyway, long story short, fast forward, they had to not come on the program because he was on there for something totally different, but they had to not come on the program, and they asked the not about me. And he had all the opportunity because he had all the control in the room at that time. He could have been like, yo, fuck that nigga. I don't fuck with that nigga. That nigga's trash. Blah, 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 blah. He didn't do none of that. He was, and like, he didn't know I was there. He had no clue I was there because this was live. So I'm listening to him. Mind you, he ain't got no obligation with me. We ain't never worked behind the scenes doing nothing, cooking, nothing, none of that. So he, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the person, if y'all wondering, that Cardi B threw the pen at today. As soon as I heard that nigga voice, I said, this nigga right here, dog. God damn. This nigga, man, but Cardi stole the nigga. I know something about the nigga. That's what I'm saying. I know something about the nigga. Nigga, he really a good nigga. You know what I'm saying? But with this YouTube shit, you know, what happens is there's so many conflicts that going on here, and a lot of times they facilitated by the lives of women. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, technically, most of them bitches that was down there at the motherfucking courthouse testifying was lying. They was trying to pawn themselves out to be victims. This bitch right here that they recorded, she was lying. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I can't bomb on the not like that because I heard what the nigga said. Like he was live. It was a live feed. He did not know I was in that chat room. There was no way he could see I was in that chat room because I never wrote anything in there. That's why I tell y'all, I don't go to most people's shit talking unless I hear they lying or something like that, and then I call them out. But Shorty, I never said nothing in that chat room ever. Like she ain't got one screenshot of me saying something in the chat room or hey, it's me. You got something to say? She ain't got none of that for me. But he was in there, he was live on camera. He was like, nah, he explained who I was, that, and the bitch was like, ooh, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good or whatever. But I just know, oh boy, he had the opportunity to bomb, and he could have like it would have boosted him up in that ecosphere. And instead of doing that, he kept by the code that many of us have been on here. It's a different realm of niggas on here that's trying to like 2026 moving forward. It's gonna be a different type of vlog on here. It's gonna be the goofy vloggers now. The vloggers I come from 4 or 5 years ago, pandemic vloggers, I like to call us. We a special type of ilk. We may not all like each other, but one thing we'll stand on business when it comes to certain shit. Be like, oh, hold up, bitch, you ain't coming to fuck over here with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We do a lot of shit over here, but we don't do that shit over here. You know what I'm saying? So I respect the vloggers that are like that from that 5 years ago and 4 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. These new vloggers, a lot of them, they just stick with the fluff. They ain't never specific. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get back to the plantation. I hope you mean work. All I'm saying about him is he is going to write a check his ass cannot cash. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't want to go that far, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, man, fucking party can get dangerous, my nigga. It can be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? In a real way. You know what I mean? Shout out to yo, respectfully enough, I ain't even get to say this other day, yo, Ma. I know I don't know you and everything like that, but since we talking about Cardi B, yo, shout out to Star Brim, Bronx shit. She back home. You know what I'm saying? After serving her bid or whatever. I heard about that today. Um, Actually, I heard about it yesterday, right before Labor Day. So the day before yesterday, I heard about it like Saturday. But I think she got released. Mel Matrix is home. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Purple City Bird Gang type shit. Jim Jones, you know, shout out to him. He just came home. You know what I'm saying? Jim gave him a nice little pendant. I'm sure it's Jim blessed him with some, you know, get back on, get right money. That's what I be talking about. Like niggas be acting like like they don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Mel Matrix just came home from doing, I think, like 8 years or something like that. Maybe 7, 8 years Mel Matrix did. Nigga came through with him with the big shiny pendant. Niggas papered him up, made sure he in a Mozzie or something. You know what I mean? And get him back right. Shout out to Mel Matrix, man, for holding it down and being quiet. You know what I mean? All that. And shout out to Star Brim. Welcome home to you. You know what I mean? I don't wish nobody that don't really deserve it like that to be locked up for silly shit. Like it's Epstein's out here. Let's lock them motherfuckers up. You know what I'm saying? It's how he comes to people. I mean, I hear that too, but when you got, like, that's where I'm coming to people. Like, Tori, you pretty much familiar with me. But, like, I didn't explain it a million times and to the point I'm just getting tired of explaining it. It's like, you know, now we've got people, there's a new algorithm here on YouTube. And so a lot of people ain't getting money like that no more. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said it's got a new format. If you figure it out, you figure it out. I ain't gonna point niggas in the direction because niggas don't help me. You know what I'm saying? You'll figure it out. I figured it out. There's a reason why I'm doing these lives right now. I know exactly what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Some people think I'm stupid. I like for them to think I'm stupid. It helps me out, but And I mean, you know, I'm not the type to like to sit here and judge vloggers, or because then it feels like it's like being like, I don't know, but I say the reason I snap on people because I have so many trolls come in here. I have people try to financially sabotage me. Um, I could use to make $300 right now. I got 30K subscribers. That would be what, $10 out of 30 people out of 30K. It will not happen. You understand what I'm saying? There's a sentiment on here, Toya Williams. If you are a man and you are a man of color, that these people are not going to donate to you, especially with their casual browsers. They're not going to donate to you if you're not talking about gossip and maliciously attacking somebody that look just like them. They find it appeasing that they come into your live and listen to you, but don't hit the like button, don't hit the cash app. They think it's funny. So that's why I said for 5 years ago, niggas was serious and getting busy when I first started on here. Now it just seems like it's just a high school party, and we're not donating or supporting anybody unless they're a woman. You know, and you got to be a toxic woman. You can't be a good woman standing for something. You have to be a toxic woman. So, like I said, me myself, I found the correlation of how you get out of it, and get out of that cycle. And the way you get out of that cycle is you got to stop doing lives, but as much. That's for one. And then two, you got to quit trying to service the people. That shit is coming to an end. Umar fucked that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully enough, I don't know what's right, what's wrong. I heard he got his accounts open back up. Good for him. But Umar fucked that up. Umar don't realize how much he fucked up. All that shit you be sitting around talking about the black man this, the black man that, you fucked up niggas motherfucking whole fucking check, man, doing the shit you was doing for 13 years. You know what I'm saying? I know some niggas want to fight that nigga. I ain't even gonna hold you. All I'm saying about him is he's going to write a check. I hear what you're saying, mama. I hear what you're saying. Dead internet theory. I think that dead internet theory is definitely something that could happen. I want to say the direct interpolation of it. I was getting ready to say it means that we'll probably end up going in the next couple of years because space is this it's infinite, but at the same time, well, just give me 1 second. So I say this the right way. And I want to keep informed. It's a theory, but a very plausible theory. And the internet's been dead for some time. All right. And I don't like doing theories. I really, really, really don't. But this one was one that was kind of interesting. The idea is that the entire internet is all bots talking to each other. That's what I meant by infinite space. All bots talking to each other, and there's no people on the internet actually at all. You're all here alone, being besieged by bots while thinking you're surrounded by people. Dead internet theory. So basically, like, I don't think it's true because Toria, she's been here for years now. So I'm talking to her. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's the truth. I think I can get what you're saying. I think that a lot of it is proposed in the guise of, yeah, I do believe that bot influence is big heavy. I think it's been implemented here on YouTube. And I'm just ready to get away from YouTube personally. I don't like the app anymore. I really don't. I don't even think it's like, to me, this app is like one of the most horrible apps I've ever been on. It hasn't changed in literally since its inception. It's basically stayed the same. I mean, there's little tweaks here and there, adding a green screen or whatever. But basically overall, it's always stayed the same. That is this and Facebook have stayed the same for the past duration of their livelihoods here in the Google Play Store or the OIS store, whatever, iOS store, whatever. So, and me personally, I just I got the shit out of the way with Cardi. Me personally, I don't. How can I say it? I don't encourage anybody to try to start out your YouTube, your internet career here. I wouldn't. Not the way it's going to become. This place in another year is going to be unbearable. That's why I'm dipping now. And with smart people like Myron Gaines and other people, Myron put me up and telling me, Myron, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that, but he put me up with the same thing. Yo, get the fuck up on off of there. Use this space over here. You understand what I'm saying? It might be less people over here, but I'd rather have less people. That's why I've always stepped to. I'd rather have a few. I'd rather have 15,000 subscribers that donate than have 30,000 motherfuckers just watch me and don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? I got 30K motherfuckers. I said, yo, I need to make $300 one time. Last month I said I need to make 500. That means out of 50 people had to donate out $10 out of 30K, and you didn't reach your goal. If I was a bitch, I would have gotten 40,000. You see what I'm saying? So it's very female centric over here. If you are a man, and you're especially a man of color, you're looked at as begging if you're asking anybody to hit your cash app. So I made the call today to stop asking African Americans for anything. You understand what I'm saying? Like I don't, and likewise, don't try to utilize my channel to talk about your subject. I was going to talk about this subject with this black kid that got beat up in a barn by a whole bunch of white kids. When I saw the lack of support and the lack of encouragement, the lack of engagement, I said, fuck them. I ain't talking about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much. I will. Yeah, we just gonna do, sorry, I'm gonna be live and shit like that, but I'm just gonna be doing like a lot of other different shit on here, and we're not gonna be as live as much anymore. It's not profitable for me, it's a waste of time, really. Like this one I'm doing right here because I don't like Epstein. You know what I'm saying? Plus I had to say something real quick about, you know what I mean? So, because I know how Cardi. En las mujeres dominicanas, entonces saben, un poquito nervioso, entonces saben, porque esa mi amigo ahí dice, un donate, entonces saben, están tranquilos gente ahí, dice, entonces saben, está pana para ahí, ¿ok? Gracias, mujeres, gracias. Got to call mad respect always for you. May God continue blessing you and your family always. That was the nicest thing somebody said to me, and I don't know how long. On this motherfucker. That's why I said, like, this shit is horrible. You know what I'm saying? Some nigga come in here talking about Bob the Builder. God damn, man. You ain't got no friends, huh? How long you been here? I'm just curious, how long you been here? You been here for a month, so you created an account just to run around and talk to niggas like that? I told you these niggas is weird. White audience, what do you say? White audiences love white topics for sure. You might want to pivot. No, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. You know what's funny? Most of the white people that I like, my white friends that I have in real life, which I think I had my one friend Ed on camera before. I had Rocco on camera before, and I think I had Salvatore on camera. That one was down in Jersey, and it was funny because they get me naturally. Like I ain't got to put on no front for them or nothing like that or whatever. I'm being respectful about it, but I don't. I can talk about these topics. There's a whole shitload of white people that's into Jeffrey Epstein. That's what I was talking about before I started talking about Cardi. You get me, Godspeed? I think you just showed up a little bit. Like we were talking about Jeffrey Epstein, like we were talking about earlier. I'm not particularly trying to gain any one of the demographics, but what I do know is with the African American community, you can, unless you're gossiping or unless you're being malicious, that's their flow. You understand? And some people will sit there and be like, oh, no, that's not true. Okay, so you have a whole sector called the T sector, and that's all of them do. All of them. Jason, what's his name, from Hollywood Unlocked, even the big ones to the small ones. That's all they do is just gossip about each other. So I'm not that type of nigga. Like, honestly, the niggas I come from, you do too much of that talking like that, niggas will kill you, son. Like, for real. Like, all jokes aside, you be up out of here, my nigga. Like, I am not joking. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be on the internet telling niggas, yo, don't donate to this nigga, don't support this nigga. We look at that as financial. Like you couldn't be on a blog and be telling me, yo, don't fuck with them niggas down there. Them niggas is trash. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas would do something to you. So I think the comfortability of these niggas could come into fake profiles and shit like that or whatever's made them basically cowards, you know? So we really don't fuck with niggas like that. Like that's why I said, like for me, no, I don't even want to be in. I'm trying to get out of the whole streaming online shit. Let me tell you something. In a minute, this gonna be the shit that downfall a lot of niggas because of all that gossiping and shit. You're gonna start seeing some of these niggas come up missing in a minute. Trust me when I tell you this. I swear to God to you. Within the next year or two, you're gonna start seeing some of these niggas, they gonna start coming up missing or something gonna happen to them. Trust me. You know what I mean? Because real niggas that's happening on the internet, they and I'm not saying I'm the realest, I'm not the toughest or whatever, but I just follow a certain ilk of people in real life, offline, that don't live by the same rules y'all living on. Y'all living on these kind of high school rules as adults, coming into people's chat rooms, collecting. You know, I had one dude that was here today. He had over 13 profiles one time when he came in my chat room. And then the day he came in with two. One was made 2 days ago, the other one was made 4 days ago. You know how maniacal you got to be to sit down for 20 motherfucking minutes? Because that's the average time, 20 minutes to create a fake profile, put a picture behind it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, you got some weirdo ass, and it's mostly dudes. That's the funny thing about it. It's mostly dudes You know what I'm saying? Dudes of color. Dudes of color, especially black dudes, are dangerous, dog. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. The second is dangerous is motherfucking Latin dudes. They are dangerous. Trust me when I tell you this. They are danger motherfucking rust, both of them. Because the only thing they look for is like how to do some dirtball shit. Like most of them. Like I can't even hold you. So like I really all that shit about the people and all that shit. I'm not that guy anymore to come for that shit. I don't give a fuck what happened with the people. I saw down there Queen's Flip put up a video and it was funny because I'm gonna show that in a minute too. I might talk about it a little bit later too because I got into some shit down there at the Diddy trial with this bitch that's a TikToker, and she tried to attack me and Myra Gaines. And Queen's Flip mother got in the middle of it at the time or whatever. And I didn't know that was his mother, and we worked it out. And I apologize to that woman. She's a beautiful woman too. But after that, I didn't go down there for like 2 weeks doing the trial. Right? Just peep what I'm saying. And so Queen's Flip, he went out there to the Jamaican Day. I don't never go to that shit. Like the Jamaican parades. I don't go to call it what you want to. I don't go to the Dominican Day parade. Nigga always getting stabbed up, poked up over there. I ain't going to the Jamaican Day parade or Juve because the nigga always getting stabbed up. They stabbed the nigga and poked the nigga up while he was on the float. Who remember that year? You know what I'm saying? They stabbed the motherfucker while he was on the float. Like somebody from the street jumped on the float and stabbed the motherfucker up. And then subsequently after that, niggas came in and started stabbing him. You understand what I'm saying? So you have a lot of like street beefs that be going on between these crews in these neighborhoods or whatever in small radiuses. And you don't even know these people and know they beefing like that. So Queen's Flip was down there, and I guess some kid, I don't know if he was Haitian, he had a Haitian flag on his face, on his head, which was kind of weird, but he had a Haitian flag on his head, and I guess his sister as well. Dude walked past Queen's Flip and touched Flip, talking about, yo, he was trying to insult him, like, you ain't famous like that, tapped him or whatever. You know, usually niggas will walk it off, but depending on how a nigga feel, you know what I'm saying, I don't know you, son, and you feel like you talking to me like I'm a little nigga, so Flip like that, yo, don't touch me. He had every right to do it. The nigga got sensitive. It was just like, yo, da-da-da-da, you know, we fuck with you, but now you acting funny, da-da-da-da. I was just like, yo, son, what do you mean he's acting funny? The nigga said, don't touch him. I'm the same way. Don't fucking touch me. I hate Brooklyn niggas sometimes. Brooklyn niggas, when they talk to you, they want to be, yo, and Sean, yo, word of my mother, the nigga was shy. I'd be like, yo, son, stop touching me, son. Like, you literally have to tell Brooklyn niggas stop touching you because if you don't, and I think he was in Brooklyn because if you don't, they will not stop it. They'll keep touching you like this. Yo, Sean, let me talk to you for a minute. Like, it's traditional with them niggas. I appreciate you joining my live today, bro. I'll post what he said later. You enjoy me turning your live today? Are you the old nigga that was walking through the park today lying to niggas? Was you that nigga? The nigga that called himself Stock Sniper. You seem like one of them type of niggas like that. You was that nigga today that was lying. Let me tell you about this lying ass nigga today. Yeah, stay right here, bro. Stay right here. Stay right here. What you think? It wasn't gonna be like that, nigga? Fuck you. You's a liar. I don't like pimp ass niggas that sit online and they lie to black people. Let me tell you what this cocksucker motherfucker did today. And that's why I went in your chat room, because you were fucking lying. And you know I know you were fucking lying, motherfucker? Because when you went live, the first thing you did when you was reading my comments, you tried to fix that shit up and then you logged off, you slick motherfucker. I know niggas like you. So let me talk to you, cocksucker, for a minute. This motherfucker today, I don't know what part of down south you at, but I don't like motherfuckers like you. He was sitting, shut the fuck up. Yes, you was, bitch. You was lying. And you know you was lying. That's why you logged the fuck off, you lying motherfucker. I'm gonna call you a lying motherfucker right now, too. This motherfucker that's in my chat room today sat there and tried to say Trump said some shit about black people to enrage black people and get them motherfucking mad at Trump. When in fact, Trump ain't say shit like that. And the words you use, paraphrase them because you were trying to articulate what another motherfucking man was saying when you knew goddamn well that wasn't what that man was saying. Talking about, yo, Trump that said y'all were born into poverty. Y'all were born into poverty. He kept repeating this, nigga, fuck what you posting, nigga. I got a clip of you, bitch ass nigga. What you think? I'm 10 steps ahead of you, country motherfucker. So this country hillbilly motherfucker went on his shit and kept repeating the same fucking words in threes, just like motherfucking Umar Johnson do. You understand what I'm saying? Don't take a vote. Family, we got a problem. Family, we got a problem. Family, we got a problem. That old family shit. Watch that shit. That's the words of a hustler. So this nigga continued on, right? The nigga that's in the chat right now, the Snipper Snap Tag TV. Nigga, don't tag me and shit, nigga. I don't fuck with you. I don't fuck with you, nigga. You a liar. I don't fuck. Why would I fuck with a liar? Why would I fuck with you? Tell me what incentive I got with fucking with you. You ain't got more followers than me, so what incentive I got fucking with you? I don't want your crowd because your crowd's stupid as fuck. You been here 12 years, you only got 5K subscribers. Fuck your channel, nigga. My point is this, right? You a suck ass nigga because you sat up there and you tried to fix it at the end after I called you a liar several times. And what did you say? Let's see how honest you are. If you a real man, one of them suck ass niggas that sound like you on parole. What did you say? He said, if you read it very carefully, it seems like to me that's what he said. You fixed that shit up at the end. So therefore, if anybody came back to you and you could point to that point right there and you could say, oh, well, I said right here, it seemed like to me. Nah, bitch nigga. Nah, bitch, nigga. That's what you said. You lied to those black people. That's why I said I don't like niggas like you. You lied to them. There was other people that was in the chat room that knew you were lying too, and they called you out on it. So basically, if you don't understand, there is these little pinpoints of people. Reverend Al Sharpton used to do this shit. They go around and they present to every black American that they're a fucking victim or some shit. This is the antithesis of weak men. You understand what I'm saying? Like weak men do this shit. Oh, we victims. How do you think you look rallying up all the people that were in your chat to be basically little bitches and sit around and be like, this is a terrible shame they doing us like this. This is a terrible shame. This ain't no fucking leader, nigga. This is a nigga that's motherfucking to get down on one bended knee. And he's walking around. He's trying to clean it up as he's walking around. That's the shit I didn't like. I said, this nigga's trying to clean up the shit. And then when I kept saying the same shit, I said, you're lying. I watched that whole press joint with Trump that he threw out today, talking about sending the troops out to Chicago, which he need to do. These black niggas will be online talking about, no, Trump don't need to do that. Nigga, there was 50 niggas shot out there this weekend. One of them could have been your niece and your nephew. You talking about there don't need to be no intervention? Nigga, fuck you. You can't clean it up. None of the niggas that you hang with can clean it up. That's why it ain't stopped. You talked about your own neighborhood and said, Trump, this is how he contradicted himself. He said, Trump said that we were born into poverty. Then he tried to fix it up and said, basically. Then the nigga turned around and said, oh shit, I know tons of people that grew up in poverty and violence and blah, 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 blah. Nigga, then what the fuck are you arguing about? This is what I mean by these country niggas. The nigga says on one token, he knows tons of niggas that grew up and became criminals because they were taught how to be a criminal. Then on the other hand, he says, well, Trump sat there and said that we were born criminals. Nigga, Trump didn't say that, first of all, but even if he did say that, it means the same fucking thing. What the fuck are you saying? You just gave an example of the same thing you was arguing against. You want to be smart, motherfucker? That shit kills me when these niggas be contradicting themselves. Then they get contradicted. And that's how you can always tell they used to being around a group of women, because they'll start responding to you like a fucking woman. And I can't stand that shit. I can't stand that shit. You know what I'm saying? That is weak shit. I voted for Trump. He did say you were born crazy. He ain't say shit like that. You still claim you ain't gonna say that shit over here either, bitch nigga. You understand? Listen, homie, I don't know how old you are. You wouldn't put your whole ass on camera, but I seen most of it because you knew you was lying. You know, as soon as people see your facial expressions, they would have known you was lying. You sat there and said to them people, that were in that chat that he was nigga, you don't have to argue with me. You got 5K subscribers. Don't nobody give a fuck about you. Again, you sound like a bitch. That's what bitches do. Bitch nigga, you got 5K subscribers. I got 30K. Don't nobody give a fuck about what you talking about. The only reason I ain't got more people in here right now, usually it's at least 300, 400 people, depending on what subject I'm talking about. Nobody give a fuck about this shit I'm talking about right now. That's why I'm talking about it. But your hoe ass, on the other hand, nigga, I'll tell you a hoe to your face, nigga. It's that serious. I'll tell you a hoe to your face, because that was some hoe ass shit. I don't give a fuck if you show. Who the fuck are you to see? Listen, homie, let me break something down for you. You're not talking to a regular dude. This is one of few opportunities that you're actually talking to somebody that worked in the music business for over 17 motherfucking years. Do you understand me? Me and you are nothing alike. You understand what I'm saying? Me and you ain't got the same background. I don't have to go around lying to people to get money out of them. This whole ass nigga sat in his motherfucking chat room and tried to rally up the black people in it. And there's a whole bunch of these pimp ass niggas that do this shit. Umar, you guilty of this shit. Tariq, you guilty of this shit. Motherfucking Boyce Walkers, you guilty of this shit. And a couple of you hoes too. What these niggas do is y'all want peep game, y'all want a peep game, and y'all still want to keep being sucker like Umar got y'all motherfucking ass, as y'all say. These suck ass niggas get online and they act like they give a fuck about you and give a fuck about the community, but all in all, they don't give a fuck about nobody but themselves. Cats one again, I showed y'all when I went in front of Mason of Islam and was eating food with them. You can't lead the people unless you can feed the people. You understand what I'm saying? Speaking of Queen Split was out there handing out free food this motherfucking weekend. What's the name came into play? So shout out to Queen Split for doing that. This nigga's walking around in the park talking shit, talking about we all got to get together, we all got to be the same, and hey, it's a terrible thing. We being victims. Typical Democratic shit that these motherfuckers do. First of all, you liberal motherfucker lying, talking about you voted for Trump. That's another lie. You just spent your whole motherfucking life lying to niggas, nigga. And if real niggas was around you, they would know that you lying because of the temperament, nigga. You ain't got to go back and forth. I'm gonna keep talking about your pussy ass because you a pussy. And that's what pussy niggas do. Pussy niggas act like the bitches that raised them, and they sit up there and they try to tell grown ass men, no, don't stand up for yourself or whatever. You ain't tell them motherfuckers nothing about how to combat it if he really did say that, did you? No, you said, no, this is coward down. That's terrible what Trump said about us. You hear what Trump said about us? Trump said that we born criminals. Trump ain't say shit like that. This nigga took one, and he said, well, out of all that stuff Trump said, that was the only thing that stuck out to me. My nigga, it didn't stick out to you that motherfucking 50 motherfuckers got killed this weekend in motherfucking Chicago? That didn't stick out to you, you stupid motherfucker? And now you sitting here trying to act like you're articulate. Homie, you're not more educated than me. You don't live in a better area than me. You don't have a better work history than me. You've never done half of the shit I've seen or been in half of the states I have. There is no argument, my nigga. There is no argument. Point blank, period. There is no argument. Nobody gives a fuck who you are. That's why after 12 years, you only got 5K subscribers, you silly man motherfucker. Nobody gives a fuck who you voted for. You a suck ass nigga. That's the point. I don't like sucker niggas that got suck ass channels. You a suck ass nigga. You sat over there, you lied to them people. I caught you out on it. And 3 minutes after I called you out on it, you fucking ended your life. Don't you ever fucking show your fucking face here again. Go suck a dick, you fucking bitch. I can't stand a bitch motherfucker like that. I can't stand a bitch motherfucker like that. That nigga's lying. He sat in his fucking chat room today and tried to get all those people in there riled up. And I'm gonna get off here after this because y'all stupid motherfuckers deserve a nigga like that. There's thousands of these niggas that run around. What was the other nigga that cheated on his wife? Had the girl, brought the girl up on camera after he cheated on her with the bonnet on her head and then basically joked the fuck out of getting cheating on her. These motherfuckers are abundant in that community. I'm trying to tell you, suck ass motherfuckers like that bitch ass nigga was. So let me tell y'all what happened. Today, after I finished listening to y'all a little bit, nah, nigga, I'm from Missouri. What the fuck do it sound like I'm fucking from? No, I'm from fucking Oklahoma with this accent. What are you, fucking stupid? So any fucking way, right? That was a stupid fucking question right there. So any fucking way, long story short, this cocksucker's on his chin because I hate a motherfucking grown-ass man to lie. That's why I was talking to him the way I was talking to him. Because there's so many of these bitch-ass niggas like that hoe-ass nigga right there that do this shit. They get on their channels, and this is how Omar got niggas, if y'all say he got y'all. They'll get on their fucking channels, and they'll sit there and feed you, oh, we're victims, y'all, this is terrible, and, you know, snow bunnies never, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, all this shit or whatever that they say to rally the people up to make them feel like they're constantly a fucking victim. Well, here's the newsflash. If you got a whole bunch of men thinking they're fucking victims, that's all right for bitches. But if you got a whole bunch of men that are sitting around, this nigga was talking to men, telling men, y'all should feel like victims too. Now, you're telling these boys to become bitches. That's why when they get out here and they're dating these girls or whatever, and this is why I said, this is why when they get out here and they dating girls, they don't know how to deal with the girls. This is why when they get out here and they dating women, they can't be a good man to you or whatever, because these niggas like this have been bitches themselves. A nigga that was told, did you hear that nigga was talking? That nigga, I was talking that nigga like he was a straight bitch. I don't know that man from a hole in the wall, but he said some smart shit. He said, you need to comprehend what I'm saying. You need to, I said, nigga, who the fuck are you talking to? And you listen to this nigga talk. This nigga sound like he on parole. I was about to ask him, yo, my nigga, when'd you make parole? Because that's how he sounded. When'd you make parole? I can't stand a bitch ass nigga to sit on TV, and I don't know why y'all motherfuckers do it. Y'all talk so much shit about me or whatever, but you let these motherfuckers hustle you out of every fucking dime because the shit they say sound good. That nigga Derek Jackson ain't lost a motherfucking dime, and he sat up there and embarrassed that girl, that church girl, embarrassed that girl, and fucking cheated on her, and he still somehow or another, because of his smooth talking ass, able to motivate around all the motherfucking black women, they still giving them money. But you want to talk about me, man? Fuck a bitch to just support that nigga. Fuck a bitch to support that lying ass nigga too. And more motherfuckers need to start doing the shit I'm doing. There's a whole bunch of motherfuckers here online that are operating and getting money by telling lies. And y'all allow it. So that means if you allow it and you support them, you a fucking liar too. You a fucking liar too. You heard what the fuck I said. You a fucking liar too. I'm so sick and tired of these lying ass motherfuckers online. For real. Somebody need to take a fucking hammer and go nail some nails. East Coast sounds similar to Boston. New York, you all sound the same. Nigga, I don't even know where the fuck you from. You might sound the same. I don't fucking know you. Quit trying to get a conversation with another man. Sit back and enjoy the show. I don't fucking know you. I don't want to fucking know you. How about that? Does that sound good? Does that sound Boston of New York? I don't want to fucking know you. Fuck you. So like I was saying, right? I don't like cocksucking motherfuckers like that to jump online and get these little crowds or whatever, and tell them all kinds of shit how they're fucking victims. And there's enough of these bitches and these motherfucking niggas that have been raised by these bitches online that it's getting to a point where it's getting out of fucking control, dog. It's getting out of control. Bitch ass niggas sitting up here telling me, no, you got to understand and comprehend. Nigga, I live in a New York City tri-state. Where the fuck do you live at? That shit was rural as fuck. You sitting up here talking about, like, you know when you hear crickets in the afternoon and shit down south? We don't hear no fucking crickets in the afternoon up here in Connecticut or New York. You don't know what I'm talking about? Listen, if you go down south to like South Carolina, shit like that, in the afternoon, you'll hear crickets chirping. You know what I'm saying? You'll hear certain type of birds buzzing and shit like that, whatever, right? I know this because I've been down south enough times to know this. And so you'll hear that shit or whatever the case may be or whatever, right? He'd be like, yeah, I know I'm down south. Ain't no motherfucking crickets going off in Connecticut and New York. I ain't heard a cricket in over 10 years, nigga. I don't give a fuck what you was doing, nigga. You ain't doing that. I ain't your motherfucking friend. Fuck you. I don't want to be your friend. Niggas always talking about they want to be friends and shit. Nigga, I don't want to be your fucking friend. Hit the cash app, nigga. And then we can talk. I don't want to come in here and sit in my chat room. Don't even want to engage the conversation. Want to ask the questions they want to ask and shit. Like this is a Q&A. Nigga, I ain't your fucking friend. I'm going to say this to y'all. Maybe some of y'all good and some of y'all don't. The people are saying they're hustling people ain't actually the people that's hustling people. It's actually the people that are saying that people are hustling people that are hustling people. And like I said, if y'all niggas was in New York, let me know, because I want to take y'all on the trip to play 3-card Marley with a couple of my friends, with y'all good smart asses. You know what I'm saying? For real. I'm serious. I would have ran them right over to 125th, son. You know what I'm talking about over there? Be like, yo, son, listen, man, bet 100, son. You gonna win. Trust me, you got it. Oh man, lost. Listen, bet another 100, nigga. You gonna get it. You gonna get it back. Don't worry about it. That's 200. That's 400 if you win. And they'd be like, yo, damn, man. I mean, nigga, you all the way in now. You might as well bet another 100. No. That bitch ass nigga was over at his station, and he was basically trying to get those people to rally up so they will feel sorry for themselves, angry. And once they get angry, they'll donate to him based on their protest of being angry. This is a style that these niggas do. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of these bloggers are guilty of it. Y'all been allowing them to do it, and then the real niggas is out here, and the real bitches too, are doing this game. Y'all don't want to support them. Y'all don't want to promote them or anything else. So that's why I say to this day, fuck most of you. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. It seems like to me the African American community and the Latin community have become at a partition professional victims. You know what I mean by that? Meaning that old motherfucker that was just in here, he sound like an old elderly motherfucker, bitch ass nigga. That whole ass nigga, and I don't know that nigga. Like I said, I just went past his thing, and I know what I watched and what I heard. When I listen to things, I listen very carefully. And I listened to Trump today. Trump didn't say anything like that. Trump wouldn't even say that the black kids are born criminals. He made the shit up. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I mean. He made the shit up. He made the shit up literally. Then he had the nerve to come in here and say he voted for Trump. That doesn't make sense. You think he just felt like that this week? If that's the case, like he lied, and that's why he ain't had no argument here. You notice he ain't had no argument because he knew I knew he was lying. But they'll allow that nigga to win. They'll allow that nigga to win because he lied. He make him feel good. Y'all not understanding it, man, and it's a waste of time. Whatever. These niggas are stuck in the matrix. They ain't unplugging, so it is what it is. You know, sometimes a nigga gotta get killed or a nigga gotta get bit by a snake or something for a nigga to learn something.